We drank our share of whiskey, but we didn't overdo it. We were professionals. It was all about quality, not so much quantity. Although, to be sure, there were a few who were into both, but they didn't last too long. They tended to weed themselves out. We were selective of what we drank, knew where the best whiskey was stored, which rack houses, which barrels. Sometimes we sipped on new whiskey, bourbon that hadn't been aged yet. White dog, clear as water, but dangerously seductive, too. Drink too much of that, and the next morning you would wake up with an earthquake between your ears. Bust head, Booker called it. You got the bust head, he would say. Some of the workers, the old-timers especially, had something called a mule. It was a distillery secret. No outsiders knew about it. It was basically a plastic tube that you could hide down the front of your overalls. You would pull it out in the rack houses if no one was around, knock out the bung of a barrel, the plug, and slip it on in and have yourself a nightcap, or an afternoon pick-me-up, or a fat-free breakfast. There was a trick to knowing which barrels to sip from. Since the barrels were aged for years and years, they naturally picked up their share of dust as they sat quietly undisturbed in the shadows. But every so often you would come across a barrel with no dust on one side, and that's the one you put your mule in. The reason they didn't have any dust on them was because the men, many of whom had, shall we say, prominent stomachs, would lean against the barrel while sipping on it. Their guts kind of shined the barrel up. Those barrels were called the sweet barrels. The shinier the barrel, the sweeter the whiskey. I always thought we should come out with a special bourbon, call it Shiny Barrel. I knew it would sell well in Kentucky. People who knew their whiskey would know what it was all about and line up to buy it for sure.